Hi everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered how the money we use today came to be? The story of Philippine currency is more than just about bills and coins. It's a reflection of our culture, trade, and history. Long before the Spaniards arrived in 1521, Filipinos were already trading with neighboring lands like China, Java, Borneo, and Thailand. Back then, the barter system was common, where people exchanged goods like rice, beads, and livestock. However, as trade expanded, the barter system became inefficient, leading to the use of cowrie shells as money. These shells, in gold, jade, and even wood, became widely accepted across many regions. The Philippines' rich gold resources also led to the creation of piloncitos, small gold coins used in trade. Additionally, the salapi, a silver currency brought over by trade with India and Indonesia, became widely used. So, from barter and shells to gold coins, our history with money goes way back. Now let's dive into how Philippine money evolved over time. Let's go back to the time before the Spanish arrived in 1521. Long before our modern pesos, the early Filipinos already had their own form of currency. Around 900 AD, the piloncitos were used in places like Tondo, Namayan, and the Rajahnate of Butuan. These tiny, bead-like gold pieces were the first recognized coins in the Philippines and were used between the 9th and 12th centuries. These piloncitos were small, about the size of a corn kernel, and weighed just a few grams of fine gold. Despite their tiny size, they played a big role in trade when the barter system became less efficient. In addition to piloncitos, the early Filipinos also traded with barter rings, which were large, gold, ring-like ingots. These were bigger than a donut and made of nearly pure gold. Both piloncitos and barter rings reflect how advanced early Filipino trade and craftsmanship were. Truly remarkable for their time. When the Spanish arrived in 1521, they brought with them a new form of currency. The cobs, or makukinas, roughly cut silver coins from colonial mints, mainly from Mexico. These early coins bore a cross on one side and the Spanish royal coat of arms on the other. Locals called them hilis calamay because they resembled flattened rice cakes. But over time, the Philippines saw the introduction of more sophisticated coins. One of the most iconic coins of the era was the Dos Mundos, or Two Worlds, which circulated widely between 1732 and 1772. Known for its beautiful design featuring two crowned globes representing Spanish dominion over the Old and New Worlds. The Dos Mundos became treasured not only in the Philippines, but also around the globe. This coin also came to be known as the Mexican Pillar Dollar, or columnarios, due to its striking design with two columns flanking the globes. However, there were problems with fractional currency, so the barilla was struck in the Philippines as the first locally produced coin. Made of crude copper or bronze, these coins were worth about 1 centavo, and the term barya, meaning small change, actually comes from this coin. Meanwhile, in the southernmost islands, the Sultanate of Sulu actively minted its own coins, engaging in trade with various nations and issuing coins as early as the 5th century. These coins, made of base metals like tin and silver, often bore Arabic inscriptions, reflecting the Sultanate's rich trade network. As the Philippines declared independence from Spanish rule in 1898, the new Philippine Republic under General Emilio Aguinaldo issued its own currency. This was a bold step in asserting the country's sovereignty. Coins and paper money were backed by the country's natural resources, symbolizing the strength of the newly formed republic. At the Malolos Arsenal, two types of 2-centavo copper coins were struck, and revolutionary paper notes worth 1 and 5 pesos were printed. These notes, labeled as República Filipina Papel Moneda de un Peso and 5 pesos, were hand-signed by notable figures like Pedro Paterno, Mariano Limchap, and Telesforo Chuidian. These currencies were freely circulated, representing the people's fight for independence. However, the optimism was short-lived. After the surrender of Aguinaldo to the Americans in 1901, these revolutionary currencies were withdrawn from circulation and declared illegal. When the Americans took control of the Philippines in 1898, they implemented modern banking and currency systems, which greatly contributed to the country's economic prosperity. One of the most significant changes was the introduction of a gold-backed monetary system, pegging the Philippine peso to the American dollar at a 2-to-1 ratio. This meant that 2 pesos was equivalent to 1 US dollar. The Philippine Coinage Act of 1903 established the official unit of currency, and the new coins, designed by Filipino engraver Melesio Figueroa, ranged from half centavos to 1 peso. In 1912, El Banco Español Filipino was renamed to the Bank of the Philippine Islands, marking a shift from Spanish to English on all future notes and coins. By 1918, treasury certificates replaced silver certificates, and 1 peso notes were introduced. During the Japanese occupation from 1941 to 1945, the Philippine monetary system was severely disrupted. The Japanese issued fiat war notes known as Mickey Mouse money, which had no reserve backing, leading to extreme inflation. 1 duck egg cost 75 Mickey Mouse pesos, and a box of matches over 100 Mickey Mouse pesos. Meanwhile, guerrilla forces issued resistance currencies in various provinces to counter Japanese control. The puppet government under José P. Laurel outlawed guerrilla currency, punishing possession with arrest or execution. Despite this, guerrilla units continued printing emergency notes backed by the Commonwealth government. After gaining independence in 1946, the Philippines initially used Victory Series notes, which were old treasury certificates overprinted with the word Victory. However, with the establishment of the Central Bank of the Philippines in 1949, the country began issuing its own official currency. The first series of banknotes, known as the English series, was printed by Thomas de la Rue and Company Limited in England, while coins were minted in the U.S. Bureau of Mint. These banknotes remained in circulation until 1971 and were the last to feature English as the primary language. In 1969, the Filipino series was introduced as part of a movement to strengthen national identity. These banknotes marked the beginning of the Philippinization of Philippine currency, replacing English with Filipino, and featuring notable Filipino figures and landmarks. By 1973, following the declaration of martial law, the Ang Bagong Lipunan, or ABL series, was introduced under the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos. This series was essentially an overprint of the previous Filipino notes, but with added security features and the words Ang Bagong Lipunan printed on the watermark area. To enhance local production, the security printing plant in Quezon City was inaugurated in 1978, allowing the Philippines to print its own banknotes. By 1983, a new coin series called the Flora and Fauna series was released, featuring native animals and plants. In 1985, the New Design Series, or NDS, was introduced to replace the ABL notes. This series remained in circulation for decades, and later included 500 and 1,000 peso bills featuring significant historical figures. The improved BSP coin series followed in 1995, after the re-establishment of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP. In 2018, the NDS banknotes were officially demonetized, completing the country's transition to the New Generation Currency, or NGC system. Today, The evolution of Philippine currency reflects not only economic growth, but also national identity and resilience, ensuring a stable monetary system for future generations. The evolution of Philippine money continues with the New Generation Currency, NGC series, a project launched by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP, in 2010 to enhance security and durability. Coins were also redesigned in 2017, using nickel-plated steel for uniformity and durability. Designed by Studio 5 Designs and Design Systemat, the NGC banknotes feature famous Filipinos, iconic natural wonders, and national symbols on coins. The members of the Numismatic Committee, including Bangko Sentral Deputy Governor Diwa Guinigundo and Dr. Ambeth Ocampo of the National Historical Institute, ensured the accuracy and integrity of these designs. The word Filipino was even written in baybayin, and the notes use myriad and 20th century fonts. The New Generation Currency coin series was released in 2018, featuring micro-printed security details and metals that discourage hoarding. In 2019, a bicolor 20 peso coin was introduced to replace the banknote, improving durability and efficiency in transactions. By 2020, enhanced NGC banknotes were issued with improved accessibility for the visually impaired. Today, digital transactions are reshaping the way Filipinos handle money. E-wallets like GCash and Maya have revolutionized payments, allowing Filipinos to go cashless with ease. Even small businesses and street vendors now accept QR code payments, making transactions safer and more convenient. Meanwhile, the first Philippine polymer banknote series was introduced for greater security, cleanliness, and sustainability. But I won't go into detail yet. Stay tuned for my next video, where I'll explore its impact and benefits. In conclusion, the evolution of Philippine money reflects not only the country's rich history, but also its progress toward modernity. From the New Generation Currency to the rise of e-wallets, the Philippines is embracing both tradition and technology in its financial systems. In my next video, we'll dive deeper into the first Philippine polymer banknote series and explore its benefits, including better security and environmental impact. Make sure to stay tuned and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting videos like this. See you next time.